adjustments here. That's pretty good. There we go. Hopefully you guys are doing good tonight. Hanging in there at least. So this is October 10th, 2023, and see we've had quite a big blast come off this left side here. That's why I'm saying hold on tight, because we've got a lot of inbound energy coming in from the sun. So first I'll let you guys kind of look at this, let a few people get on the chat room and in the channel here. Apparently only one person gets notifications anymore, so I'm thankful for the one person at least. We'll get a few here in just a minute. So as you can see, I had a small one here, but this big blast right here, this is huge. And we'll go through this one frame at a time, like we always do. But that's a considerable size blast that we're looking at right there. So yeah, I see a few people showing up there. All right, cool. Hang on here, just a second. I gotta scoot over a little better. There we go. Still kind of getting used to my little studio here in my prayer closet. All right, so let's catch this at the beginning. Back a few. Well, not much in those first few. Okay, so let's adjust this just right. There we go. All right, opening frame here, 024. We're going to start marching through this day. You can see we're having little spits and sputters coming out of this area, this little region where this bright spot is. First we have this little event right in here. Then this down here. Let's go back. Frame right there. We'll zoom in on this one. Here you can see our round object right here. Boom, coming out from down there. Okay, just gonna point them out here kind of quickly as move on. Okay, so here's our first object moving out. Then we have our big blast. Note right here, just as it starts to emerge from behind the occulter, we have this streak coming through here. Look how wide this whole field gets here as it continues to expand. This is like the whole half of the sun right here. This is a huge blast. Here's an object right here. You can see its magnetic field. There's a good shot of it right there. Come on, zoomer. Let me zoom in on this. There we go. All right. Here you can see our round object right there. Let me tint this out just a tad bit better for you guys. And it almost appears here, now that I look at it, we have something bigger back here. Either this is its magnetic field, which appears to be, but you can clearly see this little object right here. Okay. All right, so now we'll zoom back out. Alright. And we'll continue on as this object moves out. Boom, boom. A couple other little ones trailing behind it. This has like 1, 2, 3 in a row right after it. Another one trailing up here. Okay, I'm going to put this loop back into motion here. Maybe we'll slow it down just a little bit. Oh, something else I wanted to point out too is this sun diving comet coming out here at the very beginning, right here. Do you see it going in? If you follow that and the timing of it, here, let's just zoom in on that too, because it's just kind of odd, the timing of it. And then the big blast, boom, out the backside. It's almost as if this thing went and curled around the sun and exploded and caused a CME or something. But watch as it. Here, let's try to get this better right here. Right there, I guess. So you see our thing come in, and then boom. It almost looks like they're shooting at the sun, but they're not. That's just a sun diving comet. But kind of imitating what we're seeing over in Israel, kind of like a rocket coming in and then boom. Nature imitating real life. All right, and that was the 10th. So this energy will be reaching us on the 13th. So we have a series of days in a row again here where we're watching this inbound energy day after day coming in, and it's going to be affecting our weather. Something else when I talk about affecting our weather is I always show the weather here over America, but it affects the weather around the world. And usually when these events happen, you'll see a coinciding weather event, but it's not here in America. It's somewhere else on the planet. So just because it doesn't happen here in America sometimes doesn't mean it's still not affecting the earth. So, all right, so let me zoom back out of this a little bit. We're too tight. There we go. Bam. All right, so there's our scene from today. Now what I want to do is take you back to the 8th and this event that happened here on the 8th. Let this load up. Okay. One right here. Boom. Another one there, and a third one over the top. So we have three events here on the 8th, which you do the math, takes 3 days to get to Earth. That makes it the 11th, which we are now entering the 11th now, okay? So we're going to do a little weather report here. I want you to keep this in the back of your mind. As we do the weather, when we do the weather report, that this added energy will be affecting our weather as well. So, oh, thank you. I see that. Hey, I felt sleepy all day. Hey, Brian, you cool? Thank you very much. I try my best here with what little I got. So, the knowledge of this is more important than the video quality in my audio and stuff. So, you guys are a select few that know a lot more than the rest of the world does. Let's just say that. So, this is the 8th, which will do to hit starting now, from this moment forward, all the way through the 11th and 12th, because there was another, the following day had energy coming off the sun as well. Okay, now let's come over back to the 10th real quick. Here's our event on the 10th with this small one down here first, and then this big, huge one off to the side. All right, so our sun diving comet, this thing, and then boom. All right, now here's our space weather or other instrument here, our GOES X-ray flood. Zoom in on that for you. Scooch it over. There we go. All right, there's our event from today right there. And it was an M-class flare. Oh, they said a 2.3. Okay, so an M2.3 supposedly today. Okay. And you can see it there. We had a little spit and sputtering and then our eclipse thing, but currently pretty quiet. But there's our event from today. These two lines right here, if you can see them, that box right there is today. So there's our event, and that was probably that little first one popping out. All right. We still have a 5% chance of X flares right now, because if you look at this big old patch right here, this bright patch is still pointing at something big that's coming in. So I'm expecting something to come out of this area still, okay? Note how this little spot was bright at the beginning, and then it disappears. See, it came out of this region. This is like a compass needle pointing at the inbound object, and then when it passes, it dissipates and disappears. This is pointing at something. This is pointing at something as well. So this is kind of how you can kind of get a good indication of what direction and what to expect next. All right, so back to here. That was this blast, 5% X flare. It was a 2.3 M flare. Something that's a little concerning now. This sunspot region has now gone beta, gamma, delta. This is dangerous. When we get these three together, these components all together, that's the ones that spit out X flares, and that's the reason for our 5% right there. Okay, so I wanted to, whoopsie, scooch this over if I can. The auroras aren't too strong right now. Before they were a little lighter, so they have kind of flared up a little bit. We're starting to absorb some energy now, because when I looked at this about an hour or so ago, it wasn't as intense, and now it's a little bit more green than it was just an hour ago. So it looks like we're starting to pick up some inbound radiation being diverted to the poles, causing auroras. All right. Back out of that. Let's go over to the tracker. Pop that sucker open. Not even showing anything on this. All right. So I want you guys to witness this. All right. We had a huge blast come off the side of the sun today. No. I want you to witness this. Okay. Huge blast came off of this region of the sun today. Where is it on the tracker? Nothing. Okay. You saw this right here happen today. Boom. All right. So there should be, I would say it's either coming off about this direction, even though this isn't showing anything yet. They need to update this. This one's not even showing anything, so worthless. Anyway, back out of that. Back out of that. Nope, it's not showing the one region. I think this one region that's beta, gamma, delta is rotating into the view field right now. Here we go. This was blank just a little ago, and now we're starting to absorb some stuff right now. So our event is currently starting now. Our absorption event here on Earth is starting now. Okay, so that's everything here. Let's pop over to the Schumann. Come on, Schumann, you can do it. All right, still kind of pumping along. Nice green, solid line. It's a little spread out. It used to be just one skinny line. It looks like, I don't know, it just looks like it's broadened out a little wider than usual. And let me see if I can move this and this and pull it in a little closer for you guys, just so you can see our latest readings at the moment. Oh, I got to set the studio up a little better here. But you can see here, here's the tab bit. This line right here means our magnetic field's pumping along pretty strong. We're having some kind of little event right now. This is the beginning of our absorption, probably right here. Okay, and when that absorbs, gets directed to the poles directed to the core heats up and expands. It grinds on the shell that is around it and causes these big white screeches, and we'll probably see a big white screech here, in the next few hours. Lately it's been taking 4 to 6 hours for absorption until we see a core shell screeching type event that makes these big white lines on here. Okay, so not predicting, I'm just saying I'm expecting to see some screeching event here in the next few hours as this progresses. We're missing data over here on this left side. That was an event that they just decided to take down. So let's move on now to our earthquakes. And scoot this screen back a little bit better now again. Right about there, I guess is good. We're not going to go on every single one of them, but what I wanted to point out was we had another big quake here in South America. We got to scooch this back so we can get everything in there. There we go. Okay, you can see over here is a 6.0 at a depth of 247. Okay, so another 6 point, magnitude 6, or more plus quake right here. I wanted to also come over to here. This is our quake swarm area region, and we've had another big quake over here as well today, a 6.3 at a depth of 9. So another shallow quake at the same spot. They just had another big quake right here that killed 3,000 people. So if there were buildings that were damaged, that were about to fall over, that were teetering, a lot of them probably finally got finished off by this secondary quake here. Okay, actually third quake, because yesterday I showed you it appears there was 2 quakes in this region, and they tried to report it as one. While we're here, I want to change this up a little bit to 7-day 4.5 and greater, and take that away now. And let's just zoom in on this area here. See these 2 quakes, this one right here happened on the 6th. This one happened on the 7th. So these are 2 separate quakes. Now here's today's 6. So 3 6s. Ooh, not good for them, huh? Yeah, 3 6s in this region, and all these other 5, mid-range 5, almost a 6 there. That's a 5.9. So some other 5s and mid-range 4s there in this area, just in this recent week. Okay, still quake swarm going on in that region. All right, now change this back. Actually, you know what? Let's leave it there for the moment and go check our other swarm regions. This region right here, south of Japan, right here. Okay, this is all from the previous week. Nothing from here today. So this quake swarm calmed down today. All right. So that I'm not sure what that's going to entail. It might fire back up with this inbound energy coming in, or hours after it, once it's absorbed and the planet reacts, then we could possibly see this quake swarm region pop up again. But as I change this back to just one day, there's nothing there. So there was no quakes in that region today. So that quake swarm went silent today. All right. Boom. Now, the other swarm was down here at New Guinea, and it went quiet today too. All right. So some of our energy has shifted from these quake swarm areas. This one's still going, but all in all, it looks a little quiet. We had, like I said, the 6 here and another 6 over in Afghanistan today. Now let's come on over to this one. And I have it set up on the fires for right now. Still, once you take a look at all the fires going on in South America, it's kind of died down. This was really bright red and fiery earlier. But what I want to see is here at the New Madrid zone again. You see we've had this little region spark up again. So you folks in this area, be on alert. We got hot spots growing in this area again. And this is right where the Ohio and the Mississippi meet, the New Madrid zone right there. Okay, so we got some hot spots in that area growing. Where is that other place I was looking for? Yeah, South America was really, just like an hour ago, was really bright, but I'm wondering as this energy approaches, it puts pressure on the outer atmosphere pushing, pressure down against the Earth, kind of subduing some of this until the event actually happens or passes. Over here in South Africa, you can see that they still have their fires in Madagascar. While we're here, let's just take a peek at our chemicals and our sulfur dioxide. Okay, the winds are off. No, now they're off. Okay, let's come on over here and do the U.S. first. Alright, still looking kind of divided down the middle of the country. We still have the sulfur emitting from that area and hot spots growing in that area. Okay. Earlier I showed you these spots collaborating with fires, but that is subdued. Okay, so let's come on over, take a peek at China's got a lot of sulfur dioxide coming out of the ground. So does India still. This whole European, Asia, this whole area still does too. Alright, enough of that. And now let's get over to this weather report. I didn't have it open. Dang it. Alright. So let me just go ahead and let this play real quick. You guys can watch this loop for a minute. We're going to focus on this event down here and then this winding up this event. If it'll load up. There we go. I'm going to read some of these comments. Bigfoot can probably see Nibiru. Mexico. Nibiru is hard to see. It doesn't reflect light. It absorbs. That's why it's hard to see. But yeah, if you could see in the spiritual realm, you could probably see it. Maybe. Just kind of reading some of your guys' comments real quick as that loop plays. Alright, let's get back to business here. Whoops. There we go. Alright, pause it on the very opening thing. Pause. Alright, so here we are. Okay, cool. Time and date. We got the whole thing in there. Yeah, it looks good. Okay, I'm going to start marching through this. This is current conditions, the nighttime of October 10th. This is the morning of the 11th. You can see our thunderstorms blossoming and firing up over the Gulf here. This is the noontime as they start to approach the coast. This is the end of convection when the thunderstorms blossom the most and sun starts to go down and convection stops. And let me just zoom in real quick while we're here. And just kind of point out real quick what they're predicting for this area at the end of convection tomorrow. All right, this is still going to be more intensified because of our inbound energy and objects and stuff, okay? This is very similar to yesterday's. It hasn't really changed too much. It changed a little, but the trajectory and the main theme of it continued to be the same. All right, so we'll back it up. That's the end. All right, so there's the noontime. There, the end of convection. Oh, wait, I think this is the end of convection. What's the time up here? I lost the time. I want to kind of stay zoomed in here so we could just watch it move through this area through the nighttime and into the 12th. It starts to move almost, okay? So let's zoom back out of this and back up a little bit because this storm now, I want everybody to focus on this one. This is the end of convection on the 11th here. This is starting to congeal and come together. There's cold air on the backside that's causing snow. Whoops. Then, as it plunges down and comes back up, It really comes together here on the morning of the 12th. There's our scattered thunderstorms, severe weather in Iowa, back here in South Dakota, Nebraska, Wyoming, snow in Wyoming. This is the morning of the 12th, while this is still clearing out of Georgia. So overnight here, this is still at nighttime, going through the panhandle, boom, moving off the coast into the morning. As this wraps up and starts to come together, more significant snow on the backside here. Severe weather in South Dakota, even up into Montana, they're showing. And this tail is stretched out a little further, and they're showing severe weather out here in Iowa, possibly in Wisconsin now, at the noon time of the 12th. Then it really kind of wraps up tight here and fires off. These are going to be dangerous right here. The end of convection on the 12th. Excuse me. With snow on the backside, really intense thunderstorms at the end of convection, and then into the nighttime hours, it still stays there. It doesn't dissipate. Still intense thunderstorms activity approaching Minnesota. See how it's going into Minnesota there? Still back here into South Dakota, Nebraska even. So watch out for this big, like, almost small land hurricane that's starting to congeal there and wrap up. This is moving into the morning time of the 13th now as it moves up into Minnesota. Then it kind of shoots back down into Wisconsin area here. That's the noon time. There's the end of convection here on the 13th. Now, we just looked at the 10th, right? And we saw this huge blast coming off on the 10th. Ta-da! Due when? The 13th. So, let's back up to the beginning of this event on the 13th. Here's the morning of the 13th. So with more inbound energy as this thing's twisting up and tightening up, I have a feeling this could possibly turn into more than what they're showing here. Okay, it's going to be a little more intense than what they're showing here. That's the end of convection right here, the 13th. It's not showing too much, but I have a feeling it'll be a little more intense than what they're predicting. It kind of still scattered little yellow pockets in there, scattered around all the Great Lakes and stuff through that region. That's the nighttime of the 13th. So let's back up from the morning of the 13th, or that's the noon of the 13th, convection, into the nighttime of the 13th. Here's the morning of the 14th, into the noontime, the end of convection on the 14th. Here we still have these pop-ups back here through Pennsylvania, Washington, D.C., New York, as this moves off the coast on the 14th. Everything after that is pretty clear. We don't know what's going to be coming off the sun that would be inducing anything else. So that's it for the weather report on this, because you can see there's not much else to report on. So it's these two, this event here tomorrow, and then this one on the 13th, 12th and 13th, okay? You guys in these regions need to be very alert at what's going on, because this can change and be a lot stronger than what they're predicting. And I don't have time to go around the world and show the rest of the world, but there's going to be wild weather. Whoopsie. Let me go back here. Let's see if I can fix this again. I want to go to right about here. And I want to take those fires off. Put the wind on. While we got it here, I just kind of want to search around the planet here and see where our most violent storms are. Look at this off of the coast right here of Sweden and Norway, in between Greenland and this is one of our strong circulations. These guys might get pounded as as this energy moves in. So everybody here in Sweden on this coast right here, watch out. Your weather's going to be intensified. We already looked at America. Let's kind of look out here. Ooh, look at this thing. All right, that's out in the ocean, so it shouldn't affect too many people. We have another typhoon winding up here. This, I bet, will intensify as well. This almost looks like as a result of our inbound object. Because every time these things move by, they seem to trigger up vortices on the planet. So, two regions to watch out for. Not really too much going on. There's not too much life out here in this part of the ocean anyways. But watch out for this typhoon intensifying. That's about it around the world, especially Europe and this region right here, as this energy moves in and intensifies this circulation. Watch out, Europe. Okay, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about for the forecast. Since I can't do all the way around the world, we'll just kind of take a little peek around and see what's going on. Oh, something else here. Let's go to... Hello? Where am I? There we go. Let's go to the polar vortex and see how well it's forming now over the northern hemisphere. All right, see this? This is our transition period where we're getting our polar vortex back, and it's spinning in the right direction. It's not spinning backwards, so that's good. We do have these small little sub-vortices over here and here, but they're weakening as this starts to take dominance. Let's go look at the one on the bottom side. See how disorganized, well, yeah, disorganized it is. It's split into two now. We basically have two flows. This one's still dominant, but this will split up and start to dissipate as the polar vortex over the northern hemisphere starts to take shape. Get ready for winter. And for right now, it's just kind of taking this cold air and blowing it down onto Canada. It's splitting up a little bit, but the main flow across the country is coming right off the Pacific and just going straight across. Okay. Alrighty. I think that was all of that. That was the wrong thing. Let's X out of that. And we'll close up with some spiritual report stuff, if we can get that to X out. There it goes. Alright, I'm going to come over to my channel here. Open up YouTube. And what should we close with tonight? Well, we're showing Jesus, and that's because we all need a daily reminder sometimes of what this is all about, and it brings hope and strength. And if we could, come on, why is this not cooperating, please? Computer's got a mind of its own. It's like, I'll just do it whenever I feel like it. There we go. Oh, any day now. Why is it opening up something else? Alright, well, I was trying to close out with a nice image of Jesus here, and come on, computer, you guys. Alright, well, let me X out of this or close out anything. I'm trying to show a nice little image of Jesus here to close out this show. Everybody pray real quick for my computer to clear this up. Please, Lord, help this work. Amazing. Alright, well, I guess we'll just kind of... Oh, there you go. Thanks, YouTube. Now, yeah. guess. They're probably having some disruptions with their satellites. Everything's moving super slow now. Come on now, you can do it, YouTube. After their ad, probably, or not. Come on. Yep.
It's a taste of it all, a day not to miss.
Alright, there we go. Howdy, folks. Welcome back. So I know there's a lot of activity going on the sun, but I really don't feel like reporting on that stuff right now. Actually, I want to go back and revisit an event that happened earlier this year, 2020, around Easter, when I captured what appears to be Jesus in the clouds here. So I need you to tilt your head to the right about 45 degrees, and here's an eye, his other eye, his nose, his mouth, his chin and beard, his hair flowing back like this, and you can make out a crown up here above his head. That crown is hovering over his head. There seems to be almost a little halo around his head too. And once you see that image, then we can zoom in just a little bit tighter. There you go. Alright, I'm going to leave off with this image right here. Hopefully this is bringing you guys some hope and some strength in these times. And, with what's going on over in Israel, there's a lot of people that are falling into the spiritual trap of hating one side over the other. Now, this is what's so important, is that you guys focus on Jesus and don't get sucked into the media's trap that they've laid for you and divide you. There are people in New York right now that are celebrating in Times Square for the Palestinians. And there are others on the right here in America that are celebrating for the Israelis. All right, if you knew the deeper story of what's really going on here and why this event, why these two factions duel like they do, you'd see a different picture. So, since you can't see the bigger picture, you need to pray for both sides, okay? Because there's innocent people caught in the crossfire that are getting hurt, all right? Some of the military people put their lives on the line to defend this and stuff. They know they might get killed. It's the innocent civilians, women, children, the elderly, that are getting caught up in this, that end up suffering. So we need to pray for the peace of Israel, for cooler heads to prevail, okay? Or else, I mean, he's here already. He's watching everything that's going down. Judgment is happening right now, and your reactions are key to what happens eternally. This testing ground that we're in is, the final exam is happening right now. You're going to be judged on what you do these days, what you were thinking during this time period. Did you hate your brother when you didn't know the whole story? Or did you just pray for him instead? So I'm just trying to steer you guys in the right direction. Don't get caught in this media's narrative, in this trap of hating other people because we're at war, because somebody attacked somebody else. This is all, we don't wrestle against flesh and blood. This is all spiritual, demonic, realm that's attacking us, all right? So you have to be spiritually strong to fight this battle, all right? And that's why I keep showing you this image. So you guys will be spiritually strong. You will know beyond a shadow of a doubt Jesus is real. He's here right now, watching from the clouds, watching everything that's going down. All right? This happened on Easter, all right? And you know what? Let's play a little bit more of this, I guess. Is that all you wanted me to say, Lord? Yeah. Just be careful. Don't get dragged into this, we're already divided enough. Don't get dragged into this another division of our society. Now it's Jew hates Gentile. I mean, we already got white versus black. We got this versus that. They're just dividing you down another line. Don't get sucked into it. Stay focused on Jesus, okay? Keep reading your word, reading the Bible. It'll all make sense when you read the Bible, okay? That's why it's so important that you read the word and understand who he is, so you'll recognize him when he comes back. I'm going to continue to play this here.
Okay, and this event happened over a course of about an hour, and I got a lot of pictures of it. See, if we go up above here, you can see all these pictures up from way over here going across, or all of this. Show you more of what happened here. Okay, in about 7 or 8 of those pictures and put them together in a flip, and you can see the different images, and that this event, is taking place here, because there's more that happens here. Okay, so starting here, we're going to go forward a little bit here through a lot of these images, all the way to right about here.
I took like 1,000 pictures of this event.
You can see that this face has changed now. Now we're seeing a more round, like lion type face with the nose right here. Here's an eye coming out here, an eye going that way. Here's its mouth slit, the chin going down here. So this round face right here with a crown still above it. Now I'm going to go through and show you the flip book where it changes from Jesus to this lion face. Okay, now we're here at this image right here. This is a flip book of about maybe...
Alright, oops, I want to continue to play, just not with the sound. Alright, you guys see that? The Lion of Judah and Jesus both wearing a crown. That event happened on Easter. It's important that you guys understand this, believe it, because this is a real event. I mean, I tried to take this to the media, and they were like, yeah, right, dude. Sure. So I had to put it on my channel. It's the only way I can get it out to the public. Okay, you can see what's happening there. Now something else. You know what? Before we close up, I got a few people here still. You guys want to see a little bit more? No? Why would you not want to see more of that, huh? Let's see. Where was the other one I was looking for? Bear with me just a sec here. If you come over to my channel, I got all kinds of crazy stuff that I've caught. You can go through these videos and watch them without me having to like put the computer or the phone up to the screen. You can see them a lot better. Oh, except for that chick. Hurry up, chick. She's an attorney. Oh, and here's her sidekick, the blood-sucking attorney. Yeah, we'll take a 30-year settlement when we weren't injured. Okay, cool. Alright, this is where we want to focus on here. Oh, and back it up just a bit here.
And I'm going to start zooming in on this face because it's a real face. And if you look back behind it here, let's zoom in just a little bit. You'll notice that back behind here, this face is being projected by Jesus's heart right here. You can see it radiating out. Here's Jesus' face. He's pulling open his shirt, exposing his heart. His heart's radiating out this image in the sky. Heart right here. You can see it.
Trying to get it just right to where you can see Jesus pulling his shirt open there. I think that's about as good as it can get. Another image of Jesus in the clouds there to kind of close this out. And this this stuff follows me around in the clouds everywhere I go. I stopped taking pictures of it because it so consumed my life at one point that I couldn't even like drive or function outside without looking up and snapping pictures. So this is just a sliver of all the stuff that I've witnessed in the clouds, and just some of the stuff that I've captured here. Hopefully, this little image will bring warmth and joy to your heart. Jesus pulling his shirt open and exposing his heart here.
Out. Here's Jesus' face. He's pulling open his shirt, exposing his heart. His heart's radiating out.
All right, there we go. Can you see? It looks like he's wearing sunglasses. All right, don't ask me why. I just take the pictures, and it looks like he's wearing sunglasses. And he's pulling open his shirt. You can see his heart is radiating out these waves. See the waves? And those waves are creating this face here in the clouds. My face. And then further on in this video, let's go to this part right here. This is on the same day, the same cloud, about half an hour later from a different angle. Now listen to this, watch this.
And a few moments later, in this image, I took a picture of the same cloud, but this is at a different angle. I rotated it 90 degrees. And I want you to look right up in here. You can see that there's a face, two eyes, smile, here's the head. And the arms are outstretched, and he's holding a cell phone taking pictures of the sky. This is an image of me taking the pictures of the clouds. So the clouds are now mimicking me taking pictures of them.
Okay. So what's going on here? How come I'm taking pictures of these clouds and capturing Jesus and all kinds of angels and demons and UFOs and entities and races from advanced races from the past? And then this stuff starts showing up. This is me taking a picture. I have to hold the camera up at a 45-degree angle to, take a picture of the clouds, right? Well, I have a shattered shoulder, all right? It never healed right. They never, fused any of the bones back together. I got multiple bones floating around in my shoulder, all right? So it's hard to hold a camera up like this, and it gets excruciatingly painful, and the more pain I endure, the more defined and the better quality pictures we get. So a lot of what you're seeing, even though these images are odd looking and just weird how they're in the clouds, you're also seeing a lot of pain. This hurt a lot to take these pictures, to hold my phone up for a half an hour with a shattered shoulder. If any of you try holding your phone up to the sky at a 45-degree angle for 15 minutes, you can't. You can't do it. The blood drains out of your arms. Even though your phone is only a couple ounces, it begins to feel like a couple of tons. And it gets painful to hold it up. And that's when these things start to gel and come together, is when I'm in excruciating pain. And then that's how I get these pictures. Okay. So I just wanted to close out with this one right here. Jesus pulling his shirt open, exposing his heart here. Alright, we'll close out with that. Know that your divine entities, this is a battle of your mind. Alright, the powers that be are trying to get you guys to hate each other. Don't fall for the trap. Love wins, all right? Don't fall for that trap and start hating each other when you don't know the whole story. Let me back this up a little bit. All right, and the story that you've probably been told by the media, the known liars, you're really going to believe the story they're telling you when they're all known liars? So Don't get tricked into hating on one side versus the other. When you see from my perspective, when I look down, I see my children trying to kill each other. And at this moment, like I said, I have two teenage boys. They're almost the same in age. I would hate to see them fight each other and try to kill each other in front of me, right? I don't take one side or the other. They're both my kids. All right? That's why it's important that you guys pray for the peace of Israel. Pray for the peace of others. Pray for endurance, for strength, for courage. You guys, you're a lot more power than you know. Okay? This stuff will start happening to you if your prayers are powerful enough. Okay? You got to believe to receive. And I've been a faithful believer for a while, and all of a sudden this stuff started happening. And I started capturing it for you guys so I could bring it to you. And it's pretty clear what time we're in right now, okay? Let's just say the end of days or whatever, okay? And that's why I think I'm being shown some of this is to bring it forward to you guys so you'll have a nice strong faith and be warriors in this battle, because this is a battle of good and evil. You can't just sit back and twiddle your thumbs and hope everything's going to fix it. You got your prayers are like swings of a sword. We're fighting an enemy here, and if you want to take a swing at him, it's with a prayer. Okay, so it's important that you guys get serious about your prayers, the meanings of your prayers. Quit praying for material possessions and focus on spiritual things. Try to do kind acts for people, random acts of kindness. Try to make amends for, relationships that you've blown out or whatever. Try to mend those bridges and make amends as quick as you can, because as you can see, we're running out of time here, folks. This was 2-3 years ago that I took this image. Same with the other one. All these images are from about 3 years ago. That's how deep into the game we are. That's how close to the end we are. Every second now is a second closer. So, you need to get out there. Don't run and hide. There's nowhere to run. There's nowhere to hide. Go live life. Be a good Christian. Help your fellow Christians out. Continue to pray for each other. Get strength and courage from this gentleman right here. Okay? And it'll take you to the end, and you'll have victory. All right? You can see victory here in the sky already. I'm showing you victory here in the sky already. Jesus, you'll see him coming in the clouds with power and great glory. Well, here he is in the clouds, radiating out this power, right? The other image I showed you with the crown, that signifies power and great glory. So he's already here, right? We're just watching the last few frames, the last few closing moments of the movie. And then we move on to this realm for eternity. This is temporary. This realm is temporary. This one's forever. This is more real than the stuff around you that you're looking at that's temporal. Imagine that. It sounds crazy, but this is more real than the television that you're watching, okay? That's all fake. That's all demonic. It's all trying to, lead you down their narrative, when this is what's really going on in your skies. I got lucky and I know what to look for, and I'm always ready with my camera to capture whatever I can to bring it to you guys and give you plenty of warning ahead of time here. This is the news before the news type thing, So hopefully you guys can see that image right there. That's another one of Jesus there in the clouds. No, it only gets smaller. I was trying to see if maybe smaller made it look a little bit better. Now let's try this a little bit. It's a tad bit better, but all kinds of other stuff going on in the clouds. That's why he tells you when you see these things happening, look up. There's displays going on in your clouds, like scenes playing out in the clouds that unfold 2 days later. I mean, you want to know the news before the news, go watch the clouds. You'll see a big wave hitting some Capitol building, and then 2 days later, a giant wave takes out the Capitol building. Or something like that, you know? It's just... I wish I could explain more, but... Let's back up a little bit, and we'll leave off with this image again, I guess. Oh, of course, after an ad.
Does fall travel like Amtrak. Whether you're going for...
Yeah, be careful about
Okay.
fall travel right now.
And this happened back around East.
Okay? This happened on Easter 2020. Okay, folks. So, courage, strength, endurance. This is all real. You're divine entities. And you folks in this audience are the real elite. Not everybody walking around the planet knows about this right now, right? You could walk into any store and be the only person in that store, or even in your own town, that knows what's really going on. Okay, that's what makes you the elite. These people they call the elite are they're a bunch of criminals and pedophiles, political hacks, and traitors, basically. And that's all going to come to an end here soon. So, you believers, you're about to be rewarded here for, oh, come on, really. You're about to be rewarded for your faith. Can I have my own video back, please? There we go. All right. An hour-long event. A warm wind kicked up. All the birds went berserk for the entire hour while this unfolded. This hill right here in the background, I was homeless a month ago at the base of this hill. Camped out at the base of this mountain right here, right where this event happened. I knew I would be delivered. I knew it. I just had faith. I just kept my chin up and kept going. And sure enough, Jesus delivered me. That's a real testimony. That's the power of Jesus. Okay? All right, guys. So, with all this going on over in Israel, it's all part of the Bible. Okay? This has all been written. Okay? And it's important that you guys have your spiritual strength as strong as possible, because now they're bombarding you spiritually with the news. All right? I know it's interesting to watch. It's okay to watch it, to be informed. Just don't get sucked into the hate and be divided. Like I said, cooler heads have to prevail. We have to get back to a level of peace. Everybody enjoys having peace and security where you can go out in your front yard, have a barbecue, right? Or do whatever in your own private property or whatever. These people can't do that anymore. Their homes have been wrecked. Their cities have been wrecked. We got homeless all over the place, as if the economy isn't driving people homeless bad enough. Now we got war driving people into the streets as well. Okay? And I was just homeless not too long ago. I know exactly what it feels like. It's not comfortable. You don't have your amenities. You know, I'm taking a shower every day, in the shower, thanking God for warm, running hot water, for soothing hot water that soothes my body, my muscles, and my aches and stuff. You know, we live better than a lot of kings did back in those days. In the grand old castle, the king that runs, 70 countries did not have a toilet that flushed, did not have a shower with running hot water, with a removable head that has vibrating, pulsating water jets that can massage achy muscles. They didn't have that back then. We have those nice amenities now. We have cell phones that keep us entertained every second of our life. I mean, people can't even look up to drive anymore because they're so into their cell phones. So we have all these niceties, and we're really spoiled. We live better than a lot of kings did in the past. We are truly, rich spiritually. Okay, we might not be rich monetarily or have a bunch of, Lamborghinis and wild mansions and all this money and power and stuff, but we are rich, and we are rich spiritually. This is better than gold and silver. Right here, this image right here is better than gold and silver because this lasts forever. Gold and silver won't, okay? It's good news. He's here to rescue us. He's here to save us. It might look ugly at first. It might, it says we have to go through certain things in order for the world to learn their lesson and see and be open-minded enough to finally accept it. So a lot of believers, you're just going to have to sit back and observe, pray. That's how you fight. You're warriors in a battle. You guys got to continue to pray for everybody, even the people in Afghanistan that got hit with the quakes. Pray for your neighbors, even your enemies. It's hard to during these times, especially when you don't know the whole story. There's other components going on in the background that caused these events that make one side look one way and one side look another. They do this on purpose to get you guys to jump on board. We all saw 9/11, and we saw how everybody went gung-ho the next day. Let's go get them. All right? We all saw how they used that tactic to get us to go to war, to accept going to war. Is that not what we're seeing again here? Okay, you guys need to go over to Israeli News with Stephen Ben-Danoon. He's uncovered some disturbing details about this event that, a lot of it doesn't make sense. Where was the IDF? Well, according to him, they were told to stand down. So a lot of uncomfortable things are coming out of this. And it's going to try to steer you spiritually to start going crazy, start hating, and just losing your marbles. Hold on to this tightly if you're going to need it, because it only gets rougher from here on out. That's why I titled this "Hold On Tight," because you can all see they're staging this. They're doing it to induce prophecy, probably. Okay, and little do they know that somebody's here already watching it all. Okay, so I just want you guys to take comfort, be strong in your faith. Okay, keep reading your word. All he wants is for you guys to understand the sacrifice he made for you and thank him for it. I mean, if you died for your friend, wouldn't you want your friend to be thankful for the sacrifice? So, he gets to continue on with his life and raise a family, and you sacrificed your life and your family, raising, having your chance at raising a family so somebody else could. That's just a sacrifice. He just wants acknowledgement and a thank you, and beautiful miracles start happening in your life when you do that. Okay? It's that simple, really. Beautiful miracles start happening, and then you just want to obey. You're so happy to be his friend, you just want to obey him. So that's your victory. You're looking at victory, even though you see defeat in the news. It only leads to this. Okay, there's a hidden picture a bigger picture going on in the background that you guys can't understand. So just have faith, okay? It's all playing out the way it's supposed to. It's hard to say rejoice when you see people going to war, but rejoice when you see prophecy being fulfilled. Okay, not supposed to rejoice at the fact people are dying and suffering and stuff right now, but it is part of prophecy. It is part of the lesson being learned here, and in a way, your spirit, it's okay to rejoice at another sign or another prophecy being fulfilled. Okay, that's how you got to look at it. And now you see why it's so important to pray for the peace of Jerusalem this whole time, because just to take it down. But that's not going to happen. So I think that's about it for tonight. Really, you guys, watch out the weather tomorrow down in the Gulf Coast, and then the 12th and 13th back up through Nebraska and South Dakota and that region of the country. These storms could get a lot more intense. Also, the other ones around the world that I showed you could intensify with this new inbound energy. And then with what came off the sun today on the 10th will be arriving around the 13th. So if I don't get back to you until then, that's it for now. I'll be watching all these instruments closely, as well as praying for the peace of Jerusalem and for endurance for all you guys. It's like a marathon. You have to have endurance. So pace yourself. Okay, don't take on too much. Let him hand it over to Jesus. He takes care of it all. All right, that's it for tonight. I love you all. God bless you all. Just like I said, pray for each other. All right, that's it. I'll be back. I am back. Can't you tell?